Have you ever felt that sinking feeling when someone crosses a line with you? Maybe it's subtle, or maybe it's loud and clear. But what if I told you there are certain things that no one should ever tolerate, no matter who they are or how long they've been in your life? In today's video, we're going to share 5 things you should never tolerate from anyone. These are the silent traps that chip away at your self-worth, your peace of mind, and your power. And today, we're diving deep into them. Stay with me till the end, because what we're discussing can truly reshape how you live and protect your energy. And if you're serious about guarding your peace and living abundantly, subscribe to the channel for more life-changing content. Let's break it down. These are the things you should never tolerate, not even once. Disrespect. Disrespect isn't always loud. It doesn't have to come in the form of someone yelling in your face. More often than not, it creeps in silently. Maybe it's a subtle eye roll, a snide comment slipped into conversation, or someone cutting you off mid-sentence like what you have to say. Doesn't matter. These small acts of disrespect can be so sneaky that you might brush them off at first thinking, it's not a big deal. But here's the thing, disrespect is like a slow poison. It starts small, almost invisible, but over time, it builds up. The first time, you might feel a bit off, a little uneasy, but each time you let it slide, you're giving that person permission to continue. And before you know it, what started as a small disrespectful comment grows into a pattern, a virus that spreads through your relationships, your work, and your life. Every time you tolerate it, you're sending a message that it's okay to treat you that way. And the truth is, it's not okay. No one, whether they're your friend, a family member, your boss, or even someone you love, has the right to make you feel small or insignificant. Respect is a two-way street. If you aren't getting it, it's time to take action. The most powerful thing you can do in these moments is to set boundaries. Think of boundaries as a protective wall around your self-worth. It's not about shutting people out. It's about letting them know where the line is and that you won't tolerate anyone crossing it. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've never set strong boundaries before. But trust me, you deserve it. And here's the hard truth. Some people will never respect your boundaries. They'll push, test, and cross them anyway. And when that happens, you need to be ready to do the hardest but most necessary thing, walk away. Don't be afraid to let go of those who refuse to respect you. You're not losing anything by letting them go. In fact, you're gaining something far more valuable. Your self-respect, your peace of mind, and your power. So, I want you to ask yourself right now, where have you been tolerating disrespect in your life? And what can you do today to reclaim your worth? Manipulation. Manipulation is one of the most dangerous forms of control because it's not always obvious. It doesn't show up as someone directly telling you what to do. Instead, it sneaks in through subtle tactics, guilt-tripping, gaslighting, emotional blackmail. You may find yourself second-guessing your decisions or even questioning your own reality, all because the manipulator is pulling strings behind the scenes. Here's how manipulation works. The manipulator needs control. They want to shape situations to benefit themselves, but instead of being upfront about it, they twist reality just enough to make you doubt yourself. They might say things like, "I can't believe you're upset over something so small," making you feel like your feelings don't matter. Or they'll play the victim, making you feel guilty for even thinking of putting up boundaries. Slowly, they push you into a position where your decisions are no longer truly your own. The scary thing is that manipulation often feels confusing. You might walk away from a conversation thinking, wait, was that my fault? Or am I overreacting? That's exactly what a manipulator wants. Doubt. The more you doubt yourself, the easier it becomes for them to control you. It's a silent erosion of your freedom, slowly chipping away at your confidence and autonomy until one day you realize you're no longer steering your own life. But here's the truth. No one has the right to control you like that. You are not a puppet to be manipulated. You deserve relationships where your choices are respected, where you feel safe to make decisions without someone twisting the narrative to suit their agenda. So, how do you break free from manipulation? First, you have to recognize the signs. Pay attention to moments when someone's behavior feels off, when they're constantly playing the victim, making you feel guilty for their problems, or twisting your words to make you question your own sanity. Once you recognize it, take a step back and reassess the situation from a place of clarity. Then, reclaim your power. Don't allow anyone to gaslight you into thinking you're the problem when you know something feels wrong. Stand firm in your truth. You deserve to be in relationships, whether with friends, family, or partners, where there is mutual respect and understanding, not constant manipulation. Remember this: manipulation thrives in silence. When you don't speak up, when you tolerate it, it grows. But when you shine a light on it, call it out, and refuse to be controlled, you break those invisible chains. You take back your freedom. So don't tolerate manipulation, not from anyone, no matter how close they are to you. Lack of accountability. Have you ever been around someone who always seems to have an excuse? No matter what goes wrong, it's never their fault. They blame others, shift responsibility, and somehow they always manage to dodge the consequences of their own actions. It's frustrating, right? But more than that, a lack of accountability reveals something deeper, an absence of integrity and emotional maturity. When someone refuses to own up to their mistakes, they're essentially asking you to carry the weight of their actions. It's like dealing with a person who knocks over a glass and then walks away, leaving you to clean up the mess. Over time, this pattern can wear you down. You find yourself constantly cleaning up after their mistakes, emotionally or even physically, and that's not a burden you should have to bear. Here's the thing: accountability is foundational to healthy relationships. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a professional environment, the people around you should be willing to take responsibility for their actions. When they don't, you're left holding the bag, and over time, that weight becomes unbearable. When someone refuses to take accountability, what they're really showing you is that they don't respect the impact of their actions on others. They dodge blame because it's easier than facing the consequences. But in doing so, they're not just avoiding responsibility, they're pushing it onto you. And that's not just unfair, it's exhausting. You're not responsible for cleaning up someone else's mess. This is a powerful truth that you need to remind yourself of, especially if you're someone who naturally wants to help, fix, or support others. While it's okay to help someone through a tough time, there's a line. When someone consistently avoids responsibility and expects you to pick up the pieces, it's time to step back and let them face the consequences of their actions. What does accountability look like? It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about owning those mistakes when they happen. It's about saying, "I messed up," or "that was on me," and then working to make things right. Accountability means that someone is willing to learn, grow, and improve, qualities that are essential for any healthy relationship. When you surround yourself with people who take accountability, you're surrounding yourself with those who help you grow. These are the people who will challenge you to be better, who will own their part in a conflict, and who will work to resolve issues rather than deflecting blame. In contrast, those who refuse accountability stunt not only their growth but yours as well. So, here's what I want you to do. Take a look at your life. Are there people around you who never seem to take responsibility? People who always have an excuse, always point the finger at someone else. If so, it's time to reassess those relationships. You deserve to be surrounded by those who are mature enough to own their actions and respectful enough to never place the weight of their mistakes on your shoulders. Stand firm in your boundaries. Hold people accountable for their actions, and don't be afraid to let them face the consequences. It's not about being harsh. It's about protecting your own peace, your time, and your energy. Consistent negativity. We all have bad days. It's part of life. Stress at work, personal challenges, or just feeling down for no reason. It happens. But what about those people who seem to always live under a dark cloud? The ones who, no matter what's going on, find something to complain about, criticize, or gossip over. These people live in a constant storm of negativity, and if you're not careful, their energy will start to drag you down with them. Negativity is contagious. The more time you spend around someone who only sees the worst in every situation, the harder it becomes to see the positive side of life yourself. You start absorbing their outlook without even realizing it. Maybe at first it's just subtle, laughing along with their complaints or joining in on their gossip. But over time, that kind of energy takes root, dulling your spirit and dimming your own light. Think about it. How often have you left a conversation with someone like this feeling completely drained? You came in feeling fine, maybe even optimistic, but after an hour of listening to them complain or tear others down, you feel heavy, like a weight has been dropped on your shoulders. That's the power of consistent negativity. It pulls you into its orbit, leaving you feeling more tired, stressed, or even hopeless than you were before. Now here's the important part. You don't have to tolerate this. Your mental and emotional space is precious, and you have every right to protect it. Just like you wouldn't allow someone to pollute your home with toxic chemicals, you shouldn't allow anyone to pollute your mind with constant negativity. Over time, this type of energy will dull your motivation, kill your creativity, and make it harder to see the opportunities around you. It's easy to get trapped in these relationships. Maybe it's a friend you've known for years, a family member, or even a coworker. You might feel obligated to keep engaging, thinking you can help them see the brighter side or that you owe them your time. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for anyone else's outlook on life. You can't change someone's negative mindset unless they're willing to do the work themselves. What you can control is the energy you allow into your life. So how do you handle consistent negativity? First, recognize when it's happening. Notice the patterns. Are they always complaining? Do they constantly gossip about others, bringing more negativity into every conversation? Are they never satisfied even when things are going well? Once you see the pattern, start setting boundaries. You don't have to cut someone out completely if you're not ready for that, but you can limit your exposure to their energy. Maybe that means spending less time with them, steering conversations away from negative topics, or even being upfront about how their behavior affects you. Whatever it is, protect your mental space fiercely. You have the right to walk away from anyone who consistently drains your energy. Instead, surround yourself with people who lift you up. Choose to be with those who see challenges as opportunities, who encourage you, and who help you grow. These are the people who challenge you positively, who push you to be your best self, and who fill your life with light, not darkness. Remember, your energy is your most valuable asset. Don't let it be drained by someone else's negativity. Choose growth, choose positivity, and most importantly, choose yourself. Abuse. Abuse, in any form, whether physical, emotional, verbal, or psychological, is more than just harmful behavior. It's an attack on your very soul, your sense of self-worth, and your inner peace. Abuse isn't just about the pain inflicted in the moment. It's about the deep and long-lasting scars that can linger for years, even after the abuse has stopped. And here's the most important thing to remember. Abuse is never acceptable. It's non-negotiable. The moment someone crosses that line, they should lose their place in your life. Let's talk about the different forms abuse can take. Physical abuse is the most visible. Hitting, pushing, or any form of violence that leaves physical marks. But what about emotional or verbal abuse? This is often more subtle but just as damaging. It can be someone belittling you, manipulating your emotions, controlling your every move, or using words as weapons to break down your confidence. Maybe it's comments like, "You're worthless," or "No one will ever love you." Over time, this kind of abuse chips away at your self-esteem until you start believing the lies yourself. And then There's psychological abuse, gaslighting, isolation, or making you question your reality. You find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, afraid of triggering an outburst, afraid of being blamed for something you didn't even do. It's exhausting, draining, and it leaves invisible scars that can take years to heal. But no matter what form it takes, abuse is never okay. And no amount of love, loyalty, or history should ever make you tolerate it. It doesn't matter who the person is, a partner, a family member, a friend. The moment someone crosses that line, it's a violation of your dignity and your right to live free from harm and fear. Now, I know it's not always easy to recognize abuse when you're in it. Sometimes it starts slowly, with small things that seem like no big deal. But abuse grows. What might begin as harsh words can escalate into a cycle of control and fear. And once you're trapped in that cycle, it can be incredibly difficult to see a way out. You might even start to feel like it's your fault, or that you somehow deserve it. Let me tell you this clearly, you do not deserve it. No one ever does. If you ever find yourself in an abusive situation, remember this. Walking away is not weakness, it's strength. I know it can feel terrifying to leave, especially if the abuser has convinced you that you won't survive without them, or that no one else will care for you. But that's just another form of control. The truth is, you are stronger than you realize, and there is a whole world of support waiting for you on the other side. When you walk away from abuse, you're not just escaping harm. You're reclaiming your life. You're claiming your life, your power, and your freedom. You owe it to yourself to live in an environment where you feel safe, loved, and respected. No one should live in fear of the person who is supposed to care for them. And if you're unsure of how to escape, or if you need help, seek support. There are people, organizations, and resources out there designed specifically to help people in abusive situations. You don't have to do this alone. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Reach out, whether it's to a trusted friend, a family member, or a professional. Take that first step because your safety and well-being are more important than anything else. Ultimately, you deserve a life free of harm and fear. You deserve love, respect, and peace. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. In conclusion, there's a powerful truth in understanding what we should never tolerate. These boundaries don't just protect you, they empower you. Remember, your energy, your peace, and your happiness are priceless. Don't let anyone take that from you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got more coming your way, all aimed at helping you live a more fulfilled, mindful, and empowered life. Until next time, protect your peace and never settle for less than you deserve.